Every single day you wake up, you're faced with two choices: to drift through life and let circumstances control you, or to take control and shape your own destiny. Life is not waiting for you, and it will not hand you success on a silver platter. The truth is, you already have everything you need within you to create the life you desire. But until you decide to take responsibility for where you are and where you're going, nothing will ever change. You may have been taught to believe that life just happens, that opportunities come to a lucky few, and that the rest of us must settle for whatever we're given. But that is a lie. The difference between people who succeed and those who don't is not talent, not intelligence, and not even luck. It's the decision to take control. It's the determination to stop blaming, stop waiting, and start acting with intention. Control is not about arrogance, it's about ownership. Ownership of your time, your habits, your money, your relationships, and most importantly, your mindset. Because your mind is the command center of your life. The thoughts you allow, the beliefs you hold, the words you repeat to yourself every day, those shape your destiny. If you think small, you live small. If you think in terms of abundance, growth, and possibility, your actions will align and your reality will reflect it. Taking control starts with clarity. Where do you want to go? What do you truly want your life to look like? If you don't know, then you're just wandering in circles. Clarity gives you direction, and direction gives you power. The second step is discipline. Every vision requires sacrifice. If you want financial freedom, you must discipline your spending and increase your earning. If you want health, you must discipline your habits. If you want peace, you must discipline your emotions. When you begin to take control, you will face resistance. People will misunderstand you, criticize you, even try to pull you back into the old patterns. That is the test. That is the moment to prove that your life is your responsibility, not theirs. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand you the keys to your future. It is your job to grab them. Control does not mean you will never fail. It means when you fail, you learn. It means you rise faster, stronger, wiser. It means you are no longer tossed around by circumstances because you know that your decisions carry more weight than your conditions. Every great transformation begins with one decision. I am in control. Say it to yourself. Believe it. Act on it. Once you claim it, you will begin to see opportunities that were invisible before. You will begin to walk with a different confidence, one that draws success to you. Taking control of your life is not easy, but it is simple. Choose responsibility over excuses. Choose action over procrastination. Choose growth over comfort. Choose purpose over distraction, because your life is waiting for you to take the lead. Responsibility is the foundation of control, because it is the moment when you stop pointing fingers outward and start looking inward. Many people spend years of their lives trapped in a cycle of excuses, blaming their upbringing, their boss, the economy, or even their own family for where they are. While it may be true that circumstances have shaped you, they do not have the authority to define you unless you hand them that power. Taking responsibility is the conscious act of reclaiming that power and declaring that your future will not be dictated by your past. When you accept full responsibility for your life, you step into a new level of freedom. At first, it might not feel like freedom. It might feel heavy because suddenly there is no one else to hold accountable. But that weight is the same weight that builds strength. Imagine carrying a load at first that feels unbearable, but as you continue to lift it, your muscles grow stronger, your posture improves, and soon what once felt impossible becomes easy. That is how responsibility shapes character. Responsibility demands honesty. It forces you to take a long, hard look at your habits, your decisions, and your results. If you don't like where you are in life, you must ask, what choices brought me here? That question may sting, but it is also the most empowering question you will ever ask. Because if your choices created this life, then new choices can create a better one. Responsibility opens the door to possibility. Without it, you remain stuck, waiting for someone else to change your life, which will never happen. There's a myth that responsibility takes away your freedom, but in reality, it multiplies it. Think about a person who refuses to take responsibility for their finances. They blame inflation, low wages, or unfair systems. As a result, they never learn to budget, to invest, or to create opportunities. or themselves. They remain trapped, always at the mercy of external forces. Contrast that with someone who accepts responsibility. That person learns the rules of money, practices discipline, and builds financial independence. The first person lives in blame and dependence. The second lives in freedom and choice. Responsibility is the dividing line. This principle applies in every area of life. In relationships, responsibility means recognizing that you can't control how others treat you, but you can control what you tolerate, what you expect, and what you give. In health, it means accepting that while genetics or environment may play a role, your daily choices determine your vitality. In personal growth, it means understanding that no one else can think for you, learn for you, or grow for you. Your progress is your job. The most powerful shift happens when you realize responsibility is not punishment, it is empowerment. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control your response. That response is where your power lies. Storms will come, challenges will hit, life will knock you down. Responsibility says, I will rise, I will adapt, I will overcome, because I refuse to surrender my power to circumstances. Once you embrace responsibility, your language changes. You stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? You stop saying, why me? And start saying, why not me? You stop wishing for a better life and start building one. This mental shift alone will transform how you think, act, and live. The truth is, people who avoid responsibility are unknowingly avoiding greatness. Responsibility is the gateway to leadership, success, and fulfillment. Without it, you remain in the shadows of potential, never stepping into the fullness of who you can be. But once you choose it, you step into a new identity, the identity of someone who is capable, resilient, and in control. Your mindset shapes your reality because every experience in life passes through the filter of your thoughts before it becomes part of your actions. Two people can go through the same challenge and walk away with completely different outcomes, not because the challenge was different, but because the mindset was different. The mind is like a lens. If it is dirty, scratched, or broken, everything you see will appear distorted. But when your mind is clear, focused, and strong, you see opportunities where others see problems, you see growth where others see setbacks, and you see purpose where others see pain. The truth is, your reality is not determined by what happens around you. It is determined by how you interpret and respond to what happens. A person with a weak mindset constantly complains, constantly feels powerless, and constantly believes life is unfair. This type of thinking keeps them trapped because the more they focus on problems, the more problems they attract. On the other hand, a person with a strong mindset views challenges as training, obstacles as stepping stones, and difficulties as lessons that make them stronger. The same storm that destroys one person becomes the wind that lifts another person higher. The difference is mindset. Your thoughts are not just harmless ideas floating in your head. They are seeds that eventually grow into habits, decisions, and actions. If you keep planting seeds of fear, doubt, and insecurity, don't be surprised when your life harvests failure, procrastination, and regret. But if you plant seeds of courage, belief, and confidence, the harvest will be persistence, progress, and success. What you think repeatedly becomes what you live consistently. Many people don't realize that mindset is a choice. Yes, circumstances may be hard. Yes, your past may be painful. Yes, people may have wronged you, but you still get to choose how you will frame those experiences in your mind. Will you allow them to chain you down, or will you allow them to push you forward? A victim mindset says, I can't because of my past. A growth mindset says, I will succeed because of my past. One person is limited by what happened, the other is fueled by what happened. The external events are the same, but the internal interpretation changes everything. Your mindset not only shapes your personal success, it also shapes how others perceive and respond to you. People are naturally drawn to confidence, energy, and vision. If you walk into a room with a mindset of fear and insecurity, people sense it and they respond with hesitation. But if you walk in with certainty, belief, and positive energy, doors open, conversations flow, and opportunities align. Life does not respond to weakness, it responds to strength, and strength begins in the mind. Another truth is that your mindset determines your resilience. No one can escape difficulties. Everyone will face setbacks, disappointments, and even heartbreaks. What separates those who rise from those who crumble is mindset. A fixed mindset believes, this is the end, I failed, I'm finished. A resilient mindset believes, this is just the beginning. I failed, but I learned. I will rise again. That belief alone keeps you moving forward when others stop. And the longer you keep moving, the greater your chances of success. Think of every great achievement in history. It started in the mind before it became reality. Airplanes, skyscrapers, businesses, technology, revolutions, even personal breakthroughs all began as thoughts in someone's mind. If the mind is capable of imagining it, then the body is capable of creating it, but only if the mindset is strong enough to persist through the struggles along the way. Clarity creates direction and power, because without a clear vision of where you want to go, you are simply moving through life with no destination. Imagine driving a car with no map, no GPS, and no sense of where you're headed. You might keep the engine running, the wheels spinning, and the gas burning, but you will eventually end up lost or stuck in the same place. That is how most people live, busy but directionless, active but unproductive, moving but not progressing. Clarity is the compass that gives meaning to every step you take. When you are clear about what you want, decisions become simple. You stop wasting time on distractions because you know exactly what moves you closer to your goals and what pulls you further away. Clarity gives you the ability to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to the best ones. Without clarity, you chase everything, and in the end, you catch nothing. With clarity, you are laser focused, and that focus multiplies your power. Clarity is also the foundation of confidence. People often feel stuck not because they lack ability, but because they lack certainty about what they truly want. The moment you define your purpose and direction, hesitation disappears. You begin to walk with conviction because you know why you are moving and where you are heading. Confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from having a clear destination and the belief that you can get there step by step. Another truth about clarity is that it gives you energy. Confusion drains you because your mind is always scattered, wondering, guessing, doubting. But when you are clear, your energy is concentrated. Just like sunlight magnified through a lens can start a fire, clarity channels your energy into one focused flame that burns away obstacles and ignites progress. That is why people with clarity often outpace those who are more talented or more resourced, because they are not wasting their energy on distractions. Clarity also attracts help. When you are clear about your vision, people can understand it, support it, and join it. Leaders are followed not because they have all the resources, but because they have clarity of vision. A vague goal inspires no one, but a clear one inspires action, trust, and collaboration. Clarity has the power to pull people and opportunities toward you because it signals strength and direction. To gain clarity, you must ask yourself hard questions. What do I truly want in life? What kind of person do I want to become? What do I want my relationships, my health, my career, my finances, and my legacy to look like? If you don't answer these questions, the world will answer them for you, and you will end up living someone else's vision instead of your own. Clarity begins with honesty and the courage to define your desires without fear, without guilt, and without settling for less. Once you find clarity, protect it. The world is full of noise, distractions, and people who will try to blur your vision. Stay focused on your path. Write your vision down. Speak it daily. Remind yourself of it when life gets tough, because clarity is not just about knowing, it's about continually sharpening your direction until it becomes unshakable. When you live with clarity, you live with power. You wake up each day with intention instead of aimlessness. You stop drifting and start driving. You stop guessing and start acting. And the result is a life of purpose, direction, and unstoppable progress. Discipline fuels transformation because it is the link between the life you dream of and the life you live. Many people have great dreams, but only a few ever see them come true. The difference is not in desire, because almost everyone desires success. The difference is discipline, the ability to stay consistent, focused, and committed when distractions, temptations, and obstacles come. Discipline is often misunderstood as something harsh, rigid, or restrictive, but in reality, discipline is freedom. It is the ability to control yourself so you can create the life you want instead of being controlled by impulses that steal your future. Without discipline, your dreams remain wishes. With discipline, your dreams become plans and your plans become results. Discipline shows up in the small daily choices that compound into massive change over time. Waking up early to work on your goals instead of sleeping in, choosing to exercise instead of making excuses, studying when others are relaxing, saving money instead of wasting it, speaking positively instead of complaining. These small acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but they are bricks that build the foundation of transformation. Transformation does not happen in a day, it happens daily. It is the product of consistent action over weeks, months, and years. People often give up too soon because they expect instant results, but discipline teaches patience. It reminds you that progress is invisible at first, but over time, it becomes undeniable. Just like a seed underground, you may not see growth immediately, but with discipline, you keep watering, you keep nurturing, and eventually the seed breaks through the soil and becomes a tree. Discipline also strengthens your character. It builds resilience, perseverance, and self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, you develop trust in your own word. You stop beating yourself because you know you are reliable. You become someone who can be counted on, not just by others, but by yourself. That inner trust is priceless because it means you no longer rely on motivation or emotion to act. You rely on discipline. Without discipline, even the most talented people waste their potential. With discipline, even the most average person can achieve extraordinary results. History is filled with stories of people who were not the smartest, fastest, or most gifted, but who outworked, outlasted, and outdisciplined everyone else until they achieved greatness. Discipline may be uncomfortable in the moment, but it delivers a lifetime of rewards. Comfort may feel good now, but it delivers a lifetime of regret. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are investing in your future self. Every time you resist the easy path and take the harder one, you are building a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself. In the end, discipline is not a cage, it is a key. It unlocks the doors of success, growth, and transformation. It is the bridge that carries you from who you are to who you are meant to be. Taking control of your life is not about waiting for the right moment. It is about creating it. It is about deciding that today is the day you will rise above excuses, stop giving your power away, and take ownership of your destiny. Life will challenge you, people will doubt you, and failure will test you, but none of those things have the final word unless you allow them to. The final word belongs to you, and it is written in your decisions. Responsibility, mindset, clarity, discipline, resilience, and learning from failure are the pillars that build an unshakable life. You have the power to take control, and the time to do it is now. The choice is yours.